Hi guys, Royal Cameraman here, and on your screens is an analysis of the Titan Speakerman 3.0 upgrade as I envision it. You're probably wondering where his back-mounted speakers went. First, they had already proven ineffective in battle. First, against the fake G and then against the real one. Second, they were replaced by more useful devices, a back-mounted Astro anti-gravity ring generator allowing levitation, shortened to just the ring, and an upper pair of Astro claws, along with a pair of lower tentacles. The main power of the Speakerman, the speakers, is now concentrated around his core. Another pair is placed on his shoulders in the form of portable speakers, like Titan TV-Mans, which move using rings. The right wrist weapon was replaced with an energy shield. The left was replaced with the Juggernaut wrist energy cannon, and it's no coincidence that it's mounted on Titan's left arm. If you remember, that's where his weapon was located back in version 1. A spoiler about Speakerman's leg being equipped with a chainsaw made me think about arming both his legs and arms with hidden weapons, just like TV men, with saber saws in his hands and blades in his legs. His belt carries multiple throwing knives. And finally, Titan has acquired his own signature melee weapon. The Cameraman had a hammer, the TV man had a sword, and the Speakerman now wields a double-ended spear. But where did Titan Speakerman get foreign technology? Simple. Given that Titan TV man had a Cameraman energy shield, it's logical that the Cameraman could have shared this technology with the Speakerman as well. As for the Astro tech, it comes from TV men samples which they passed on to their allies. Now, let's move on to Titan's weaponry and combat effectiveness. We start with the most important part for a Speakerman, his speakers located on his head, shoulders, and chest. A general upgrade across all speakers is their increased power, confirmed by one subtle detail: external energy radiation. We've seen this before with the Cameramen, whose flashlights started glowing with blue energy after an upgrade. Thus, along with the increased power of Titan's main energy unit, the core, the combat capabilities of all his weapons have also improved. The head speaker's main function is launching throwing knives, which are secured for quick access on the belt. To free up his hands in combat, the lower tentacles handle this task. The shoulder speakers, like Titan TV Man's screens, can detach from the body to distract and destroy Astro, moving via a ring mounted on the back of each speaker. And finally, the main chest speaker. Its massive size directly translates to immense combat power, comparable to Titan Cinema Man's chest speaker. It can reflect both physical and energy attacks back at the enemy, stun at close range, push back with a sound wave, and even break the opponent's protective eyewear with a powerful directed sound, exposing them to an attack from TV men radiation. The core, now with increased power, is capable of emitting an energy beam comparable to Titan TV Man's. In combination with the chest speaker, when fully charged, it can release energy similarly to Titan TV Man's sword, but unlike the sword, it generates a massive sound wave across a wide area in front of Titan. This wave not only reflects attacks, but also temporarily disables enemy electronic systems. Cameramen have long used a similar technology in their paralyzing rifles, and Speakermen could have enhanced it to the point where it renders Astro completely helpless. However, the downside of this attack is its colossal energy consumption. After using it, Titan will likely have only enough power left to keep his rings and body operational, but his weapons will remain offline until the core replenishes the energy deficit. Another drawback is the inability to use this attack in the midst of battle if allies are present. They would either suffer severe damage or be completely destroyed, given their small size, which makes them highly susceptible to the sheer amount of energy. Since they are robots, they are more vulnerable to energy-based attacks. On the bright side, smaller Astro units would also be wiped out by such an enormous energy blast. The next weapon is the throwing knives. The material of the blade, it's red. Looking at similar Astro weaponry in orange, we can infer that this type of material surpasses steel in strength. Notice how easily it penetrates the durable skulls of Astro and severs steel limbs with minimal resistance. This material literally cuts through like a hot knife through butter. The same applies to energy shields, which Titan TV Man could shatter with a single strike of his sword. Despite its cutting power, the material is also highly durable, resisting destruction even from enemy attacks. This makes the throwing knives extremely effective for targeting critical mechanical components of Astro or blinding them by striking their eyes, leaving them defenseless. Their number has been significantly increased thanks to the belt, which carries a large supply. For launching, both Titan's head speakers and his claws are used. The lower tentacles assist in quickly loading knives into the speakers. A tactical trick could be placing knives inside the shoulder-mounted speakers and then deploying them to strike from the side or behind. This allows for either a critical hit while the enemy is focused on Titan, or conversely, a distraction by creating the threat of an attack from another direction. For attacks using the chest speaker, a new melee weapon comes into play: the spear. This throwable, piercing melee weapon is a perfect fit for Titan, as a speakerman who already uses similar weaponry, knives, and was previously wielded by Dark Speakerman. The spearhead is made from the same material as the knife blade, while the shaft is crafted from steel. When launched, it splits in two at the center. The impact energy will be so immense that the projectile will pierce not only any barrier in its path, be it an energy shield or a weapon-equipped limb, but also the enemy itself. This splitting feature can also be used in combination with another, levitation. Astro anti-gravity generators, mounted near the spearheads, enable precise remote control, similar to Camerawoman's plungers. The spear can be maneuvered both as a whole and in separate parts. This allows not only for mid-flight trajectory adjustments to increase accuracy, but also for surprise attacks from the side or behind while the enemy is focused on Titan. Due to its length, the spear is also highly effective at maintaining distance between Titan and his opponent, creating an opportunity to use the already familiar Juggernaut wrist energy cannon. After capturing its Titan, the best thing the TV men could do with this weapon was to pass it on to the only Titan available at the moment, Speakerman. Its combat capabilities are already well known to you. Given Titan's fighting style, which favors unexpected attacks, the slow projectile speed of a shot fired into the back of an unsuspecting Astro wouldn't be an issue for him. For the enemy, however, it would likely result in fatal damage, at best sending them plummeting from the sky to the ground. For finishing off a downed opponent, the hidden blade in the boot is ideal. This also helps prevent situations like the one where G literally bit off Titan's leg. A similar hidden weapon is also found in the hand, a saber saw. Unlike the knife, it is not designed for throwing or non-critical piercing attacks, but rather for breaking through defenses and literally cutting enemies apart, as this type of saw is intended to efficiently slice through both metal and flesh. This makes up for its relatively short length, as a longer weapon would restrict Titan's rapid movements and occupy space above the arm, space already taken by the well-known energy shield, a simple yet effective defense against frontal enemy attacks. The final weapon is the upper back-mounted pair of claws. They efficiently block Astro energy attacks, reflecting them back at the sender, and can also attack with energy spheres and beams. The back-mounted tentacles are similar to those built into the claws. In addition to energy absorption and loading throwing knives into the speakers, they can hold other types of weaponry, much like the Scientist. For example, acid pistols. Thus, Titan Speakerman is finally receiving his first full-fledged upgrade from his faction, incorporating technologies from both allies and enemies. Astro, the second version of Titan, weakly upgraded by the skibidists, who were more focused on G, looked unimpressive compared to the other Titans. Moreover, its only field upgrade was new wrist weapons, which failed to leave much of an impression. If you think about it, he was the only one who still lacked a proper melee weapon. All of this leads to the conclusion that his upgrade will truly amaze us with its power, just as we've already seen with the Titan Cameramen and TV men. He will retain his maneuverability, which is crucial against Astro, his combat style, which effectively exploits enemy weaknesses instead of engaging in direct clashes that could lead to damage, and most importantly, his defining Speakerman traits such as using throwing melee weapons and sound-based attacks. But that's not all. Subscribe so you don't miss future videos like this, hit the like button if you enjoyed it, and share your thoughts in the comments. This has been Royal Cameraman. See you next time.